Hi, I'm Emily Shacklet, head of the Executive Services Practice Group here at Fairport and Luma Wealth. Needless to say, the last few years have been tricky. We made it through the pandemic, we're getting this whole hybrid working situation figured out, and just as we thought we were getting there, the market gets volatile. All of a sudden, you feel like your retirement plans are on a roller coaster ride. And it does give you some pause. Even the most seasoned professionals with the strongest of plans think twice and spend some time wanting to kick the tires on their plan in times like these. Lately, I've had a lot of conversations with professionals thinking about a side hustle. Now, don't get me wrong, these are not people that are feeling like they're in financial dire straits and wanting to embark on a side hustle, but rather someone saying, I'm looking at my situation. I want to take the reins. I want to strengthen my long term plan. And probably most importantly, I have a really cool passion that I would like to chase or an opportunity that's out there. And now's the time. So, if you're in this position and you're considering a side hustle, what should you be thinking about? I'm here to tell you there are a number of both financial and non financial things that you should consider before you proceed. Number one, you need to start with knowing your why. Why do you want to do this? Are you looking to set yourself up as a future entrepreneur? Maybe you're in a current career and you think long term down the road, I want to be a business owner. I want to start a business. Maybe that's your why. It could actually be something much different than that, though. Maybe you have longer short-term goals that you're trying to accomplish, and having that little bit of extra income coming in will help you get there faster. That could be a great reason to do it as well. Heck, another one is I have this passion. I've been looking to pursue it for so long. Why not get started now? But really, the key is you need to understand your why, because you are going to run into these periods where it gets tough, where you're having a hard time juggling, where you're possibly feeling like you might get burned out. And as long as you know your why, you can build your side hustle and all your appropriate boundaries around that why. So the next thing, we've kind of touched on this already, but it's all about the passion. I really personally wouldn't recommend getting into a side hustle unless you're doing it because you're chasing a passion, or equally important, working with a person or a group that you feel really strongly about, that you feel really aligned with, and you're excited for the opportunity to work with them. Again, this is the thing that's going to help to bring you back into focus when things get tricky, and it's going to help you stay focused on your goals if you're working within your passion. It'll definitely help steer you through those rocky times. Third, and incredibly importantly, you need to stay engaged, be respectful, and aware in your current role. We all need to operate within our honesty and our integrity and make the right decisions. Some employers do not look kindly upon side hustles. So what you really need to do is understand, read the handbook. If you feel comfortable, talk to your employer. Look at what you're trying to pursue and make sure it's aligned. Make sure that you're not doing anything that's competing with your existing company, and create the proper boundaries so that you're not working on one gig at the other. It's, keep those separate boundaries, work within your integrity. That's important to you both reputationally and for your own emotional well-being to know that you're doing that. And then, of course, it wouldn't be me if I wasn't going to talk to you about the financial considerations and the legal considerations, and there's lots of them. We touched on one earlier, which is making sure that you know that you're not in a situation where you're competing with your current employer or violating any of their rules. Very key. Number two, if you're thinking about starting a side hustle, I would say 9 times out of 10 when I'm talking to people about their side hustle opportunities, it's not a wage type situation where you would go to an employer and earn wages from a different employer. It's often a self-employment type situation. So with that, there's some opportunities and there's some things to consider. You want to make sure that if you're going to be self-employed, you think about doing something like setting up a sole member LLC. That'll help you to provide some liability protection, and it will also help in terms of tracking your income in a clear and concise way so that you can report it at the end of the year. Uh, from the liability standpoint, you may need some additional insurance depending on the type of side hustle you're embarking on, the type of advice that you're giving, or the type of product that you're manufacturing. So keep that in mind. In addition to that, if you are self-employed, you're creating for yourself what might be an entirely new type of income that you're not used to earning, and that's self-employed income. And on that income, you're responsible for federal, state, and local income taxes, but also both portions of the FICA, which is that uh, Social Security and Medicare tax that you're used to your employer withholding from you. So just keep in mind that there will be this additional potential tax burden. You won't have withholding. You may have to make estimated payments. So make sure you're consulting with a tax advisor or your LUMA or Fairport Wealth advisor to help you to understand those implications. Some good news. Offsetting that income are some great opportunities for deductions. It can be anything from, if you're working out of your home, various home office deductions. If you have startup expenses associated with your business, such as buying equipment or securing a location or anything of that nature, all of these costs could potentially be deductible. Legal fees, you name it. If it's a cost associated with starting your business, there is a possibility that it could be deductible. So keep track. Keep track of everything you do associated with this side hustle and be very transparent with that with your tax advisor so that they can help you to maximize your tax savings as you are reporting your tax implications. And lastly, I think this might be a little known fact, but it's a good one, and it could help further you towards one of your long-term goals. If you are working and running a self-employed business, you can actually save for retirement in two different ways. You can contribute to both your employer 401k and contribute to one of the many types of self-employed plans that are out there. There are things such as SEP IRAs, SEP IRAs they call them, and solo 401ks, and you can be funding that while also funding your retirement plan with your employer. Now, there's nuances to that, so you want to understand those nuances. Also, there's some great strategies that you can employ so that in your long-term retirement future, you've not only increased your savings, but potentially even increased your choices in retirement on how your savings is held. So make sure you're consulting with an advisor as you're embarking on the type of savings plan you want to use and how you want to employ that savings. So there's a lot of things to consider in starting a side hustle, from the emotional to the financial. Couldn't possibly cover them all in this very short video, but if you're thinking about a side hustle, whether it's writing a book or consulting to your best friend's company or whatever it is that is attracting to you, make sure that you are reaching out to your Fairport or Luma Wealth advisor who can help you to work through all of these different decision-making opportunities. It will be a good one for you because if you're approaching it from the right way, I think you'll be happy and fulfilled, and it's going to get you to your goals even faster than you planned. So thanks for listening today.